This is what happens when not just a Japanese kickboxing champion, but a Japanese kickboxing legend fights a South African who is a world middleweight boxing champion. Here, Masato Kobayashi, the most fabulously moisturized skin in the history of kickboxing, is fighting South African Virgil Kalakoda, who was an IBC middleweight boxing champion. I get muddled up with the alphabet soup of boxing titles. You can tell me how important that is. I'm 14 and 4 professional mixed martial artist, 14 wins, 4 losses, if you didn't know what that means. George Hardwick, and let's get into it. So, Masato there with the fabulous hair, in the red gloves, fighting Virgil Calacoda. I think Masato is a slightly shorter man there, coming out in the bright orange shorts, Virgil Calacoda in the black, and immediately a low kick, which is what you're going to do against a boxer. Virgil Calacoda looking for that classic double high guard into left hook, and he's happy to eat a few punches on his gloves. That's probably something massively different with the pacing of pro boxing fights, 10, potentially 12 rounds fighting for a title, compared to just three threes. And there we see something from Masato. He goes from the left kick, steps back southpaw, and hits the right hook. Unusual combinations with stance switches are probably a good bet if you're fighting someone with a really solid, good boxing acumen and used to fighting other textbook boxers because it's unorthodox. Going for that low kick again is Kobayashi Masato. And look how he low kicks up into the hamstring, almost like the cut kick, the Jose Aldo style, the classic Jose Aldo style. This was before the calf kick kind of took over everything. Even in kickboxing and Muay Thai now, the calf kick is huge. Virgil Calacoda is trying to use his jab like a good boxer should, but Masato has primed him because they're in this good, close kickboxing range. He's throwing that right straight over. Left hook to the body, doubling up on the same side. For all those people who always ask, am I too old to start martial arts in the like 13? Masato started in boxing at the age of 15, couldn't get his license, and then moved into kickboxing when he was like 16 or 17. There's classic Masato. Left hook body into left uppercut. It's a beautiful double attack. The body hook means that right elbow of Calacoda is going to drift down and it's going to open up the space for that left uppercut so long as the elbow's pointed down. There he does the same pretty much off of the right side. Look how he doubles up off the left hand. I think he actually tripled up, and that puts all of Virgil Calacoda's weight onto his left leg so he can't check. Virgil Calacoda's starting to do this kind of a reactive check that you see when someone gets spammed with low kicks and they can't quite time it, they'll just pick the leg up and put it down, pick the leg up and put it down. But we see Masato adapt to that by attacking the inside low kick as well. This is something you see Masato will do off of body hooks and uppercuts because those shots expose you a lot more than a straight jab. Look how he just throws his jab. But off of body hooks and uppercuts, he'll often push away with both hands. Stick his palms out, push away with both hands. I think this is illegal in a lot of boxing organizations to call it palming, but it still happens. I think it's just an amateur boxing rule. But instead of landing that body shot and then trying to race the left hand back to the chin against his opponent's right hand, he'll just push away. But he can get caught sometimes. Joe Frazier guard, or George Foreman guard even from Virgil Calacoda there. But immediately Masato starts to mix the uppercut in. You often see boxers, especially if they have a big amateur background, they'll move a lot. But Virgil Calacoda is standing very, very solid. More of a pro boxing type build and probably very wary of the low kick. If you start to dance around, you can avoid the low kick with movement, but if you take it, it's going to hurt a lot more. Double jab cross from Masato. See how he just knocked on the door with the double jab? He didn't spam the hardest double jab he could. He wasn't bang, bang, and then trying to load up a right hand where the opponent's going to see it. He literally just tap, tap, and then threw his right hand over the top. And he has this beautiful arc to his right straight, whether he wants to fit it through the guard or over the shoulder. There's that left knee, and so he steps back southpaw. Masato, most of the time, he's an orthodox fighter. There's that cross counter I was just on about, punishing the habit of boxers to step in on every jab. The low kick was also punishing that habit of boxers to step in on every jab. There's the body hook. Tries to push away, but there's a really nice tight counter from Virgil Calacoda. That weird Archie Moore mongoose guard, it can fit that left hook in very quickly, and it can come from a slightly different angle. And you perceive what you see every day in training, and you're not going to see it that much unless you're training with Mads Burnell. Big up, really big fan of Mads Burnell. Unless you're training with Mads Burnell, you're not going to see it that much in this day and age, especially in kickboxing, because of the way it'll open your body up for body kicks. Maybe that's the next meta. Start to do George Foreman guard and just try and catch body kicks. Beautiful combinations from Masato. So yeah, I think he threw his right kick off of the right hand, which can throw up a different timing. Really good at checking. See how he used that knee feint established by the inside kick and the switch kick to step in and cover a bit of distance. Very powerful shots. Man, I haven't watched Masato for a while because I've been watching the modern kickboxers, and I need to go back and have a binge. I know what I'm doing on the bag tonight after my big grapples. 1-2 and a right uppercut. That's such a nice combination. Same side combinations of Masato are just purely horny. And there's the body hook, which lands so well because of the high guard of Virgil and because he establishes his jab. That's absolutely beautiful there. See how he pushes him away with two hands. He pushes him away with two hands. Oh, there's the body hook, and now he's going to push him away with two hands. What that tends to do is if you push, that elbow's going to open up. He doesn't want to drop his hands and leave himself open, and generally people will reciprocate. If you get pushed, you'll reciprocate palm to palm, even if it's not the usual habit in your sport of boxing. It's something you will do. And as he does, that elbow picks up, and Masato can hide the switch. Boom. I actually got the wrong frame there, but because his left arm's out, his left arm is ready to swing and ping that kick into the liver. So much liver punishment. You'd swear Virgil Calicoda was George Best. There's a left knee into the open side. He kind of pulls back sometimes with both hands a little bit down, does Masato. Pulls back, and then he eats a 1-2 as he did it. See how he pushes Virgil Calicoda? Uses that, you know, Masato, he either has both hands down, both hands really tight, or both hands pushing. And there's that switch into right uppercut. Probably a better example is in his retirement fight with Andy Sauer, if you want to watch that. But he'll switch because he lands like one or two switch kicks, and he has quite an obvious telling switch. It's not like a Buakaw really, really tight switch. But because it's a bit more obvious when he switches, it works better as a fake. There's that lovely teep. Both hands sticking out, which is normally an issue, but he's moving with it. He uses right straight into right uppercut so well. It works so well. If you land a cross, someone's likely to duck because they're expecting a left hook. And if you can reload quickly enough, like Masato does, reload and hit the right uppercut, nice. There's a left body kick again. Again, Virgil's a boxer, good right hand. Good idea to like blast kicks into the arm. Pushing away. Virgil actually moved his head, and then Masato missed his push. That's something that can be exposed with a push. Giorgio Petrosian beat Van Roosmalen and was using that nice, being the taller fighter, that nice left knee into pushing away. But Roosmalen did catch him with a really good uppercut as he was pushing. So that's one of the downsides of that double hand post push. See how he pushes him to manipulate the weight onto one leg so he can kick the other. Ooh. He still gets clipped with that counter left hook a few times as he's going for that body hook. That's probably Virgil's best punch, is that counter left hook, either from a double high forearms guard or that kind of Archie Moore guard. Knee fakes all the time. Knee fakes are so beautiful. If you only have 3 fakes, knee fake should probably be one of them. Inside low kick, because you don't even have to be a brilliant Buakaw style teeper. You can just land the inside low kick, which is possibly easier to land than a jab on most occasions. You can just land that inside low kick, and then suddenly, boom, lift the left knee up, faking the teep, or faking that lead side action, and you can step in and you cover a lot of distance. Boom, body hook. That, and then pushing away with the right hand. Pushing is such a good strategy for a fighter, especially big gloves. You don't have to worry about poking someone in the eye and getting disqualified, Cyril Gane style. There he's pulling back with both hands down. You don't have to worry about poking someone in the eye, and there tends to be a lot more surface for you to get glove to glove on and smother their gloves. It's going to be more difficult for them to loop a puncher around and fit it in the gap between the shoulder and the mandible and catch you there. The cut kicks again. Cut kicks are horny, man. I miss cut kicks. I miss a lot of the quad level kicking, because quad level kicking, especially in these K1 tournaments, they tend to fit into combinations a lot more, and they can arguably be a lot more entertaining. The classic 90s kickboxing combinations, your K1 tournaments, they can arguably be a lot more entertaining. Whereas calf kicks, and outside of Yoza, they tend to be pot shots. There's a nice double up on switch kicks and the first knockdown. It was actually Virgil trying to throw his right low kick and getting caught on one leg, which allowed Masato to fire that right straight. Masato, obviously, he worked on his kick counters a lot. He got punished by low kicks by Andy Sauer, so he really worked on his low kick counters, and he catches that 1-2 as Virgil Calacoda is on one leg, and it does a huge amount of damage. It's almost like a GTA 4 Euphoria physics engine animation as he gets dropped. Let's watch this. There's an overhand right, which actually lands before the low kick is thrown, and he throws the low kick while semi-unconscious. It's very strange, and he bangs his head on the floor very, very painfully. It's more of a looping shot because he's accommodating for the high guard of Virgil. A lot of times you're taught throw that right hand really straight, throw it clean. But if someone's got the normal guard, it's not going to fit through most of the time. So he's throwing it over the guard, he's looping it over the guard, and he's bringing his body weight down into that right overhand, right hook to get the KO. I've been George Hardwick. I'll probably still be George Hardwick tomorrow, unless you all say I'm Dagestani now because I've shaved my mustache. Subscribe. Let me know what I should break down next. If you've got any fights that are something cool, not like 30 minutes of clinching. If you've got any fights that are cool yourself and you've got footage, I'm thinking I might break it down. I don't know why my finger's so close to the camera. I've got a lot of coffee today.